It's not like I'll be going anywhere either. ... Her hands seemed to relax just slightly. I was getting through to her, but I couldn't stop there. You got us out of a tight spot, and I know you could do it again. Seriously, you have years of experience doing this. You know the system better than the back of your hand. Although, I guess this is kind of like the back of your hand. The Budapest giggled. That was the right moment to throw a joke in there. That would help. It sounded warmer this time. Her hands lowered, her fingers snaked through her long red hair. It was the first time I'd seen her genuinely smile. It was a nice sight to see. I believe in you and what you're capable of. And as long as we're stuck in this drifting hunk of metal, you've still got a job to do. Just like I have a business to do once I get home. Understand? ... She nodded. I understand. This may well be my very last voyage as a pilot for the Titan Transportation Solutions, but even then, I'll do everything in my power to ensure you reach Alpha Centauri. She bowed gracefully. The motion was practiced, but the beaming smile on her face betrayed her new enthusiasm. You have my word. I couldn't help but smile, and also, I couldn't help but to tease her. Tell you what, if they won't take you back and try to scuttle the ship, I'll take you off their hands. I'm thinking I'll download and install you on my phone. A phone? But that would be so cramped. And this cockpit isn't? Budapest laughed enthusiastically, relishing the absurd notion. That's a novel way for a program to act. Suddenly embarrassed, she tried her hardest to shut herself up, but couldn't suppress the giggling. Aw, that's so adorable! I told you, I'm not just a program anymore! Does that mean it's no longer against regulations to tease you then? She pouted and went back to work. I snickered, satisfied to myself. I guess at some point you really gotta joke around and you gotta lighten the mood just a little bit. But you could tell, even though, darn it, that's not what I wanted. Stupid buttons. You could tell, even though she might seem irritated, she's actually truly embarrassed. She's actually okay with it. It's like if you had to go through a situation like this, and you're with a woman pilot. I did it again. A woman pilot, a woman stewardess, a navigator just like her, and she's not an AI, a real person, and she took her job so seriously, but yet she did enjoy it. The cockpit fell into silence aside from the muted hums and clicks emitting from the countless computer systems. It would be only natural when a situation like this to joke around just a little bit to lighten the mood, even though you're in dire straits. Budapest seemed to be much more confident now. Her eyes flickered with profound readiness. She was no longer practicing a clinical pre-programmed routine. She had become genuine. Maybe this was the real her, after all. I have liked to think so. I thought back to the limitation ship. Why would they create a device like that? It sounded so awful to me. This gentle creature, sitting only a few feet away from me, represented the pinnacle of the human innovation. They hadn't just created new life. They created new life which mirrored their own humanity. Life could think for itself, feel the entire spectrum of emotions, and live for itself and others. If the camera caught this, I want you guys to read this and just think about that. I want you guys to read this and think about it. To me, installing those chips, it was like taking a sledgehammer to the mirror of the humanity we created. It felt awful, the worst. I hadn't really thought about it much up to this point, but then I could feel the outrage welling up within me. I stole a glance at her, working enthusiastically at her displays. Accessing! It seemed that as soon as our conversation died out, she returned to the world of code, looking for something. So what are you up to now? I'm scanning the ship's database as well as running a nearby radar scan for any nearby vessels or perhaps a notable landmark. She frowned. Turns out, my suspicions were correct. There's no data published on this stretch of the space. It's remote, unexplored, and I can't detect a single sign of life within the shuttle's range. My heart sank. Do you mean? I couldn't help but feel the dread spread around me. We were stranded. We are in dead space, sir. We are in dead space. Yes. Oh no. Actually, wait. According to this data here, with her index finger and her thumb, Budapest quickly expanded one of the small rectangles on the interface hovering in front of her. It enlarged in an instant, its width stretching from her side of the cockpit to mine. It seemed to be a grainy black and white photograph of some kind of small space station. Budapest paused for a moment. Double-checking her data, I thought she was doing. We're on a due course to pass by a research outpost. According to the registry data, it was owned and operated by the Arcadian Empire's government. You think it's military? It likely is. The Empire has been interested in exploring the farther reaches of known space. It seems to be a hub for activity in the region. While our communication systems are too damaged to send a distress beacon of sufficient frequency, we are drifting right into their direction. Once we get close, they should detect us themselves and send someone to investigate. That sounds great. How far away are they? Her eyes lowered for a moment to study her documents. Approximately 30 days at our current trajectory and pace. Ugh, that was a long trip, and probably a long trip back. Well, we could just put me in cryostasis and have you wake me up once we get there. It'll be a while anyway. Most, if not all, long-range space-faring vessels had cryostasis technology built into them. They were pretty much necessary for longer journeys. Each ship contained its hold the necessary chemicals and machinery needed for the cryogenic sleep process. When installed and activated, the cryogenic sleep systems would send all the craft's carbon-based life forms into a sort of trance-induced coma, while the personal navigator would typically take it over from there. Certainly insulatory chemicals slowed down your biological processes to a glacial pace. To your body, a 3-month-long trip could be over in 10 seconds. It was incredible technology. Sure, it would be not saying that, long time to reach Alpha Centauri, but I'd be asleep for most of it, and it'd be over in a flash. Budapest was silent. She was biting her lip. My thin smile eroded away. What is it? Is this cry system out too? ... Yes, they've been destroyed beyond repair. Ah, I see. I sink down in my seat, allowing the realization to seep in. It's alright. I'll just wait it out. If I was willing to give up, God knows how much time to transit to Alpha Centauri. It's not that this is going to faze me much. I don't have a family to get back home to, or anything like that. Are you sure you're alright with that, sir? You'll remain conscious throughout the voyage. Sure, you'll be fine. Don't worry about me. Too bad she's doing it anyway. She was acting, all of a sudden, nervous. I think my mention of cryostasis must have struck a nerve, or something like that. What was the deal? She must have handled trips like these by her lonesome all the time. Can I ask you something? Huh? That caught me off guard, but... Sure, what do you need? Sorry, I was just thinking, and... Her head turned to gaze out the windshield again. She clenched a hand against her bare, pale-skinned shoulder and looked towards the stars. I was looking out at the stars and I hadn't realized how empty it was out there. Before I could make a voyage easily, even on the flights where my passenger was in stasis, I could wait it out without a second thought, without a second doubt. But now She turned her head to me. Her voice was low and it rippled with apprehension. My mind, it wanders so much now, and I wouldn't want to be left to my own thoughts. I look out there and I think of how lonely it must be to float through space like this, and I couldn't quite follow what she was saying. She was going too fast. She must have caught on to that fact herself. She took a deep breath, her chest expanded and retracted. Is it alright if we talk? While we're on our way to the military installation, would you be alright with that? I wouldn't want to be left by myself for so long. I don't think I'd be able to handle it. Not this time. Part of me wonders now how I ever did it before. She scoffed softly, as if she just made a joke. It wasn't a funny one, or if anything, she sounded dreadfully sad. I stared back at her for a moment and sighed. Well, of course we can talk. I wouldn't just force you to shut yourself off, or anything like that. What kind of bastard do you take me for? You saved my life after all, didn't you? I'll just sit here and talk to you all the way through. I owe you that much. Surprised. Suddenly Budapest sprang up like a supernova. It appeared I made her day. I chuckled at her. I can read you like an open book, you know that? She blushed. Ha ha ha! Her frame became... I did it again, darn it! Her frame becomes more transparent when she blushes, huh? Look, it's not like I have much of a choice anyway, right? The cryostate system is offline, so what else could I do? Just sit there whistling for a month pretending like you're not there, watching my every move. I respect the privacy of my passengers. But you've got to get us out of this mess, alright? I'm no pushover, but I still don't find being stranded in deep and dead space to be particularly fun. Alright, I'm counting on you. Of course, sir. I'll try my best. You have my word. Truthfully, there was a little choice between either of us. And besides, I didn't think I'd have been able to rest easily in cryosleep anyway, knowing I'd be leaving this miserable creature to her own devices the whole time. Time to get comfortable, I suppose. I sighed, stretched out, and turned my head to the stars. Budapest turned to look at them too. Dot 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 dot. This was going to be one long trip. And so, like that, some time passed, with Budapest and I becoming accustomed to spending our days drifting slowly through space. It took a while to get used to, but eventually, aided by the tranquility of space and its ocean of stars, we were able to find a small measure of peace. The jettisoning of the cockpit was a stressful time for both of us. Between the screaming, the close scrape with the untimely death, made for some awkward first impressions. So for much of the time, I just felt tired. I was sleeping, having nodded off in the co-pilot's chair, when... The time is now 1200 hours! Look at that adorable smile! Oh, he's so cute! I just want to hug you. I stirred in my seat. Or at least, knew what the time was. Budapest must have been programmed to make a periodic announcement such as these. Oh, Mr. Passenger, sir. That was a lot of titles. Yeah, I'm up. What? I did a real job of contorting myself in my seat, nodding my pretzel legs. I peeled myself from my seat, extending my arms towards the ceiling. I stretched to get all the kinks out of my back. Drowsily, I looked ahead at the stars drifting in the cosmos across a black expanse. You didn't wake me up just to stargaze, didn't you? There are enough of those out there to last us the whole trip. No, it's just... Well, you were snoring. I wanted to check up on you. Oh, bird. What kind of cause and effect relationship is that? Oh, man. And also, I don't snore. I beg to differ, sir. I was just concerned because, well, perhaps you are having allergies, or I don't have any allergies. Also, while we're on the matter, I don't snore. You were sleeping, sir. And I was watching you, sir. And I can hear, sir. You are snoring. If only I was able to record it, I'd be able to show you. What? 1 second. Budapest turned to her display tube. What was she bringing up? What? This wasn't me. This was the sound of some sort of... Oh my gosh, she did record it! Oh man. Suffocating animal superimposed on a grainy footage of me sleeping. Oh man, she did record it. She did record it. Oh. And I made the stupid joke of her possibly not being able to record it. Oh man. It's getting a little warm in here. Alright, back to business. When did she even capture it anyway? How did she capture it? Why did she capture it? I split in my seat towards one of Budapest's cameras and glared right into it. She giggled at the expression of anger on my face. See? We should get you on a more regular sleep cycle. It's bad for your heart and can lead to hypertension. Just look at that face. Oh, you made a sarcastic joke to tease me, huh? Payback. This is payback for earlier. Don't mess with the day Budapest, why won't you? Yeah, because I'm tense enough as it is. I sighed, getting settled into my chair. You always give your passengers this much trouble. Not everyone can get 9 square hours of sleep at night. Well, not really. Given the circumstances, though, you could bear to make an exception for once. It's not like you have much of an excuse not to, right? ... She had a point. Still,